Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do.
Hey guys, JansCrazyLife. So I tried to follow a tutorial. I know that if you guys watch the beauty community, they have something going around. It's called I Tried to Follow. And it's where you go around and you try to follow someone else's tutorial. But so I tried to follow a tutorial that was not, it is, I guess, in our crafting community, but it's a person that doesn't speak English. So thank you, Dana from Live to Learn Dana, sent me a video, and this is what I came up with. So the name of her video is actually in English. It's DIY Summer Shaker Mini Album, and the name of her channel is called Asweet Bio Designs. I will have everything linked in the description box below. And it was kind of hard and complicated because they use the centimeters, and when you try to convert it, it doesn't necessarily convert properly. But I kind of just like, and you'll see in the video where I'm trying to figure it out, there's a lot of like empty space, which I will take out. But here is, and you can go check out her video. It's not in English, but you can see what she's doing. And here is, so it's a little bitty like summer mini album is what she's calling it. And it has a shaker in the front. And you can see it shaking. And I use the paper pad, pun intended. I thought that was really cool, especially because she said it was shakers. So in the front it says, did the thing, totally welded, and it says, I tried it, and I thought that was super cute. There is some ribbon that's pink for the closure. And the first page, and how I decorate it is nothing like how she decorated it, because of course I don't have the things that she has. And it says, I put my pants on this morning, I was brave, adequate, and then socialize, adulting, flossed, okay job, awesome, still alive, cool cat, fed the cat, I think you're appealing. I love that with the pizza. And it says gold star grown up. And then back here, it says nap champ. That's so punny. I think this is so cute because that's how my 3-year-old says funny, punny. And it says, I didn't hit snooze today. And on the back it says, I think you're swell, with the well. So if you guys want to see how I created this from her tutorial, stick around. So I am just cutting the actual like shape of the book. And it is, so I had to, like, she did it in centimeters. So when you convert centimeters, it's not the same as inches. So I just had to figure it out. So I ended up cutting the big pieces at 7 3/4. And then the small skinny piece is 7 by 1 inch. So I'm writing them on there so you guys can see them. But in the end, because I was like, maybe I should, but I wrote it down, and I'm going to put it in the description box below. So if you guys want to know all the dimensions. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my ruler and I'm just doing an inch in, because I don't want my shaker to be crooked. So I'm just measuring an inch, and I'm measuring down to make sure the bottom is going to be straight. And I did 2 inches, I believe 2 inches down. So that way, when I cut out the box for the shaker, it's straight and not crooked, because I didn't want like all the shaker parts to be like in the corner or something. So I'm she talks about it in the video, but of course, you know, she speaks French, so I can't understand what she's saying. So I just had to formulate my own calculations, and that's what I did. And I'm trying to figure out how to put that thing on there without losing it. So what I did is I'm moving all my die cuts, and I use this plastic from the die cut holder because I thought that this would be good, and it's a thick plastic because she's using like a thick plastic. And I'm just picking out what color I want my paper to be for the cover. And I'm kind of going through it and looking, and I ended up going with the sparkle theme. So as I'm fixing to lay this down, I realized, hey, I need to do some measurements on this paper because that way, but you'll see me. So I basically put my score tape on all those pieces, and I'm going to cut off a couple of inches off of the top. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing this, and I learned this from Mary Beth, that when you're making any kind of album, you want it to go on straight. So I am just going in so that way when I put it on there, it is straight across and not crooked and not leaning. So the book is straight. So that I went up an inch on the top and the bottom, and then an inch, half an inch on the side. So I'm going to line up that first piece with the right side of the page. And so I'm putting that down. I'm using my score tape as a guide. Again, I learned this from Mary Beth. It is 1/4 of an inch. And that way I'm putting my piece on the other sides of it. So that way you can see they're perfectly, it has the perfect amount of room on both sides. So now I'm cutting out the middle part where the shaker is going to be, and folding it over, and I'm going to put a little bit of score tape down, and that way I can have the opening for where my shaker is going to go. And you'll just kind of see me do that. I put a score tape and then just kind of roll it over. And that was a trick that she showed. And that way the paper is on the inside so you can see it. And so now I'm just using my bone folder and kind of like straightening that out. So now I will start, I cut off that extra inch that I didn't need. And I'm just scoring on the sides and kind of massaging the paper over and mitering my corners. And then I'm going to put score tape all the way around all edges, so that way it'll stick better. I think that you could do this with wet glue, but I think it's good to use both score tape and wet glue, which I kind of did, and you'll see. And so I am folding that over on all sides, and I am just getting the glue to stick down. And I did the long sides first, and then I'm doing the shorter sides on the last part. And so now I am just getting it to fold properly. So if you notice, I am using my ruler and writing the dimensions down because I'm figuring out what I need to cut my paper for. And I did my own math because, again, she was doing the tutorial in centimeters, and you know, Americans don't use centimeters. So I just measured it out to where I want it to be. And she rounded the corners on this paper, but I didn't want to round the corners on this part because I thought it looked good not being rounded. So I am just put score tape, and then I'm putting art glitter glue down, and then just using my bone folder to kind of get it to bend because it is a book. And then I am measuring the little hole that is the shaker because I want to put a piece of pretty color cardstock in the hole, so that way you can see the paper. And I use this paper, it's like cats, and it's kind of cute. So now I'm taking my eBay trusty nesting dies, and I'm gonna cut out this piece. And it's important because you will be able to see the clear plastic otherwise and where it kind of sits. So you needed something to cover over the plastic so you won't see it. So I ended up doing the yellow, and then I ended up thinking it wasn't white enough, so I added the bigger die, and I'm doing it in white too. And that's where you see me running again. So now I have cut out the white, and one of them's yellow and one of them's white because of the side. So I ended up going with yellow in the front and then white on the top, but you'll see in a minute when I flip them around. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking that plastic that I had, and I'm just cutting it down to size. And so you just want it a little bit over, a little bit enough to catch the score tape. So now I'm just taking some Cinquits that I have and putting it inside the shaker part. And then I'm going to take my score tape and put it all around the edges, just keeping my shaker bits inside. And then I will peel that up and add my plastic on top. And just making sure it works, nothing's falling out. So now I'm taking the score tape and I'm putting it on that border of the nesting die. And the first part I decided to go with white. And then you'll see me peel that up and stick it down. And then I end up using the yellow one, and I made it fit into the other one. So it kind of looks like it's one piece, but it's not because it's different colors. And I love this die because it reminds me of like ripped paper, and it's just something so cute about it. And so I am just lining it up and getting it to fit in there. So next I am doing the binding on the book. So I use this paper because it's just the binding. And so I'm cutting the first one, and then you go a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm writing down just the measurement. So this one is cut 2 inches by 7, and then 1/2 an inch in. And then the next one ends up being, I think I wrote it down, 1 3/4 by 7. And then the next one is 1 1/2 inches by 7. And that way they kind of sit inside of each other as a binding. And I thought that was really cute and a neat way to do a binding. And so I have all 3 of mine because she does 6 pages inside. So I am just putting score tape on all of them. And I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about what paper pad I was going to use. I was like, oh, this seems summery. This seems kind of fun. So that's what I went with. And, but it worked out. It worked out. It just took a lot of fussy cutting. So now I'm taking 6 pieces of paper because you needed 6 pages. And I'm just picking out 6 that I want to go in there. And that's what you see me finding, 6 pages, which I have a lot of scraps now from that. I could probably make another one of these, but so I am cutting these down at, I think these get cut at 7 inches by 4. So I'm just cutting them down, and I am making sure that, like, because I know that I had to do, I'm making sure what side they need to go on and what side I wanted them to go on. And so I'm putting my first binding down, and then I'm just lining that up with that score tape and then pressing down. And then I'm putting my second one down, and they're kind of all smaller than each other. So they just go and fit and nest in each other. And so I'm putting all my pages on, and then I will put my last little binding on and put my last pages on. And so this is how it ends up looking. So now is the decorating. So I take out this page because I knew I wanted to use all these really things, and I knew it was going to take forever to fussy cut. But then I noticed as I was watching the video, as she's decorating, she has like these half pages. So I just took 2 different types of pages and I cut them at 7 1/4, and I rounded the edges a little bit on this. I made sure that I lined up the paper, which side it was going to go on. So she used some cardstock that had like, it was like regular cardstock that both colors, it didn't have a white part. So I think that's why it drove me crazy a little bit, but it works. So I'm just adding those to the inside of the pages because that's what she did on hers. And I was trying to follow her tutorial to the T besides decorations, but I think if I had to make this again, there were a couple things that I would want to add or change about it, but it is her design and I was trying to follow it to a T. And so now I have all my pages, so now it's just decorating. And so now you guys will see me just decorate, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to put some music on, and if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I will have all the measurements in there just in case you guys wanted to try this. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, because the best is yet to come.
We are who we are. Why don't I be me and you be you? We're spreading color around us. on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do. Ain't no one stopping you. Try to express yourself in your own way, and we could have some fun. No problems coming in our way. I would like you just the way you are, and you would like me just the way I am, and I would like you just the way you are, the way you are. Oh. Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like to, what you like to do. We shouldn't care about anyone or anything that brings us down. We shouldn't care about anyone who brings us down. Doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like to, what you like to do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like to, what you like to do. We are who we are. Why don't I be me and you be you? We're spreading color around us. We're lighting up the sky, it's what we do. We shouldn't care about anyone or anything that brings us down. So come on now, let's be free. Just be yourself. Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like to, what you like to do. Ain't no one stopping you. Try to express yourself in your own